W's in the shot. W's in the shot.
Okay, let's get started, y'all. I am so sorry. Well, you guys probably can't hear me. The music's so loud. Let me switch here. Boop. Yosha. Hello. My name is Tamashii, and all I can say is Tama Days. I'm a grumpy Latina VTuber who lives in Japan, and I try to stram. I keep saying stram lately. I can't talk. Christ, what happened? I just lost my ability to speak. Jesus Christ, I took a break and now I can't talk. I try to stream 5 times a week. There we go. And on one of those days, I do political commentary called TamaTalks, which is today. Yeah, it's true. Today we are doing TamaTalks. Oh, my logo is just floating there. Lamau. I forgot. That's on my OBS. But on the rest of those days, to anyone who's new watching my streams, the rest of those days I do variety streaming. But what I really care for is my TamaTalks. So if you are willing to hear me out on my opinions that many consider political, please feel free to hear what I have to say. This TamaTalks is going to be super duper serious. I mean, they always are, but you will see some graphic images. If you look at the thumbnail, at least for the YouTube and my announcements thumbnail, you will notice that we are going to be talking about Renee Good's death in the US. We'll talk about that. But before I get into that, I of course want to give like updates on Palestine and anything else. For now, it's going to be Palestine, but I'm going to try to update more on more issues around the world. I've been trying to keep up with Venezuela as well as with other places. But today, just a short update with Palestine, and then we're just going to focus on the Renee Good death. So let's get to it. Let me get rid of my logo. Boop. And let me show you my screen. Please work. There we go. The reason why I started it late, it's because I wanted to make sure everything's working, because last time it wasn't. Oh, there you go. I just lost a follower. Let's go. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's fine though. it's just kind of discouraging when people just hate on you if you want to talk about something serious in their goddamn lives. But mama, this is why I always do my intro, by the way, because I don't want to like surprise people when I tell them I'm woke. But mama, whatevs. Let's get to it. So, this is not the one I wanted to start on. I deeply apologize. Jesus Christ. This is the one I wanted to talk about right here. So, drop site Yosha. So, Palestine update starting now. As always, Palestine is going through a total collapse, literally. You know, people think that Israel's war crimes just involve some killing people without mercy through bombs and other weapons. Of course it is. But at this point, the biggest, one of the biggest killers as well is them refusing for aid to go into Palestine. This includes food, water, and medical supplies, and also supplies to help create refuge for the Palestinian people. Right now, it's cold, guys. Like, chat, it's literally cold right now. And if your house has been bombed, or if you've been forced to, you know, walk away, leave your home to some random designated area that Israel told you to go to in hopes of being safe, which is, let's be for real, a lie most of the time. You have no house or anything, right? In this case, we're going to look at US physicians who volunteered to save these people in Palestine and help them out in the best way that they can, and asking for the international community, you and me, to, you know, raise awareness, ask for people to fucking, you know, do something. Do something. There's no medical aid. How are they gonna help all of those that are injured? That's crazy. It is what it is, Nola. It is what it is, man. I mean, I can't do anything about it. But yeah, thank you for joining Nola as well. But here we go. So here, let's read this out loud. Dropsite spoke to Dr. Mimi Saeed, a US-based physician who has volunteered twice in Gaza, about what medical workers describe as the complete collapse of diagnostic capacity under Israel's siege. Doctors warn they are now working blind. At Al-Shifa Hospital, Israeli attacks destroyed X-ray and imaging units, leaving physicians unable to diagnose pneumonia, heart failure, internal bleeding, or fractures, Jesus Christ, and basically anything internal, huh? Wow. Gaza's health ministry says 90% of blood testing and transfusion supplies are depleted. 75% of core lab materials are unavailable, and critical tests for cancer, kidney, and doctrine patients have been suspended. So imagine going to a hospital and then them being like, sorry, we have nothing to help your cancer treatment. Anything that you have, that you need for survival, that we can prevent, help, or alleviate the pain, we don't have it, okay? We don't. And this is like literally, there's multiple hospitals in Palestine and they are all facing this. Either that or complete destruction because they've been destroyed. Separately, medical relief groups warn that 350,000 chronically ill patients face life-threatening risk as hospitals operate with extreme shortages of medicines and diagnostic tools. And let's hear what the doctor who has volunteered in Gaza has to say let me just turn off my background music. Doko desu ka? It's so hard to see with my new layout. Yoja. There we go. Boop. Hopefully you guys can hear this. You better hear it, chat. Because I fucking swear if it doesn't work again.
About 50%
There we go.
of dialysis patients are unaccounted for. It's, and there are possible multiple reasons for this. Patients who don't receive dialysis on a regular basis, at least several times a week, can die as a result of electrolyte abnormality and fluid overload. These patients simply cannot survive without dialysis, and not only are the supplies limited, but the diagnostics for it are unavailable. So about 75% of labs are unavailable to show a patient's electrolyte status, for conditions like diabetic ketoacidosis as well. Kidney patients need diagnostics to show their electrolytes so that they can get the proper dialysis. Without this, they are at risk for dying. Dr. Abdul Rahman's an emergency physician, and I saw a quote from him saying that there are no diagnostics available. He was treating an elderly patient with respiratory distress or shortness of breath, and he couldn't even do something as simple as a chest x-ray. So he didn't know if she had pneumonia. He didn't know if she had a collapsed lung, and these things are absolutely necessary in the practice of medicine. And they should be available, but those machines are destroyed at this time. And so it's practicing in the dark. It's practicing blindly, which could also be very risky for patients because they can't get the treatment that they need. Cancer treatments on the cancer hospital is completely destroyed. The services for cancer patients are completely gone. And so, there's patients saying, we're just waiting to die from something that's going to kill us. And these cancer treatments otherwise would have been available, but they have been blocked from entering. Cancer services for patients like this is just a death sentence now. Patients are literally waiting to die.
That's intense stuff. Especially with the dialysis thing. I didn't even know what that was until I had to take care of a patient myself. I used to be a caretaker back in the US when I lived over there, and I had to take care of like a bunch of old people's in different stages of dementia. This particular person was okay living alone, but she just needed help like being driven around and stuff, and I had to drive her every day to the hospital so she can go to the hospital, sit down, and get her dialysis. And I would drop her off there, and then I'd leave for the day, and she'd be picked up by someone else. But they stay in there for hours to get dialysis. If they don't get that treatment, they could die. It's a daily thing for them. So I can't even imagine what is happening to the people in Palestine who need that sort of treatment, or even like more intense treatment. They can't get it. And yeah, they just are slowly dying a very painful death. This is not right. I don't understand why the international community, including my own country, are allowing, Israel to reject a human right that is medical aid in Palestine. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it does. It's because they want to kill everyone there, because they want a Holocaust, and it is a Holocaust, probably the worst that we've ever seen in history at this point, with the advancement of technology used to, kill innocent people. This is why we gotta speak out on stuff. Moving to the next topic here. I mentioned earlier that, it's hella cold right now. It's cold, and people in Palestine don't have a home anymore. They were kicked out of their houses, or it was destroyed by the Israeli forces. And the sad truth is that you know, if they survived last year's winter, they probably didn't survive this year's winter. It's been over 2 years now. Can't believe I'm saying that, but I think it's been over 2 years now since October 7th happened. And these people had to face 2 winters, you know, without food, water, medical aid, and even shelter. And the sad reality is that those who are more vulnerable end up dying from the cold. So let's read what this has to say. Let me get closer here. It says 2 more children, so children have already died. 2 more children have died from the cold in Gaza, bringing the number to at least 6. Oh my God, I just realized something. Oh wait, no, never mind. We're good. Bringing the number to at least 6 since the ceasefire agreement went into effect in October. So ever since the ceasefire agreement in October, and again, there's been multiple ceasefires, by the way, that Israel continues to violate, even with this recent one. With this recent one, they're still not allowing proper materials for people to use to have proper shelter. And so since October, 6 kids have died from the cold. Okay. Israel is continuing to blockade caravans full of new shelters and building materials from entering. So let's hear. 2 more children have frozen to death in Gaza. Israel is refusing to allow shelters in. Many Palestinians are forced to sleep in makeshift tents, unable to shield against the winter. At night, a Palestinian professor said he hears the panicked screams of children cutting through the darkness. More than 20 people, including 6 children, have died from cold exposure this winter in Gaza. Aid workers call it utterly preventable and a result of Israel's blockade. So this is the harsh reality of that. And this is easy. What sucks about this, chat, is that this is easily preventable, okay? There's no excuse. There's no excuse to not literally give these people materials to make fucking shelter. I don't, you know? And there is reasons for it, and the reason is to just murder as many Palestinians as possible. If you can't bomb them, then starve them. That ain't right. That's why we need more people to advocate for these people. I mean, last stream I talked about Angelina Jolie going over there to visit the border of Rafah in Egypt to check things out. We need famous people like that bringing attention to what's happening in Palestine. We gotta urge more people to take action. We gotta shame those who support this kind of thing. And it's just sad, you know. I'm obviously not gonna show you the images, but I have seen the images where, you know, children are crying for their own siblings, their baby siblings that have frozen to death. It's not right. And it's sad. Next. There's many Palestinian accounts on Twitter that tweet about, you know, what they're going through. And it's pretty hard. Sometimes it's difficult for me to distinguish, like, if this is a real account or not. So I take my time to, like, you know, see these accounts and you know, decide if they're real or not. But Tamir has been posting a lot and has been pretty consistent in their posting. And I just want to read their words of what they're currently experiencing right now. Like, they're giving us updates of what they are experiencing in Palestine. So I want you guys to just like realize that, you know, as I'm sitting here, like in Japan, right? My dream has always been to live in Japan, and I'm currently in Japan, finally, right? I have a heater, you know, I sleep on the floor, but that's culturally normal here. You know, I have a futon, fucking hell. I have a blanket, it's down there. You know, my PC can also keep me warm. They don't have that. They don't. And so let's read the words of someone who isn't allowed to have basic necessities like a house, you know, like a blanket. Let's read this. So, this is what Tamir has to say. He says, "We lived through a night beyond description, the worst in our entire lives. More than 30, oh my God, wow, 30,000 tents in Gaza were completely flooded." That's right, chat. Floods, okay? It rains. And when Israel destroys everything, even their sewer system, like their sewer systems, their wells, their rivers, everything, you know, floods is something that they have to survive against now. He continues, "No one slept. The entire city was in the state of panic. The cold is unbearable. The rain didn't stop, and the wind tore everything apart. I personally couldn't sleep, not just from the cold, but from the cries of people that never stopped. Children crying, mothers begging for help, tents flying away, walls collapsing. After midnight, the sounds were everywhere, and pain filled every corner. There are children who died from the cold, yes. Pure cold ended their young lives, and still, no one in this world moved. No response, no voice, as if we are invisible. This is not just neglect, it's a disgrace to humanity. We are not asking for much, just shelter that doesn't leak, a blanket to keep a child from freezing. Those who see all of this and remain silent are part of this crime. Please, don't stop speaking up. Share, shout, demand. Maybe your voices will reach where all doors are slammed in our faces." So, it's true. It's true. And look at me right now. Look, I didn't even have the mental capacity, and I'm just realizing this right now. Look at this chat. I didn't even have the mental capacity to fucking like it and to fucking share when I fucking first saw it. That's how much we don't care. Even me. This is unacceptable. It isn't. These people are asking for our help, and we have to keep talking about it. We have to. They're freezing to death. They're cold. They don't even have a blanket. If Israel's not bombing them, they're dying from the cold and hunger. And it's sad having to read these tweets, because like it could be their final words. And trust me, chat, and to anyone who's new, and to anyone who is not new, we have already read many people's like final words on Twitter, which is insane. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for joining. If you don't mind, please read the pinned. And if you don't mind me speaking on politics, then please enjoy the show. I'm talking to my YouTubers, my YouTube chat. So, next, this is also someone else in Palestine. Very short post here. I want to read what they have to say. Tent life is unforgiving. Nobody speaks how we endure sewage. Wow. Rats and insects on a daily basis. We are only getting sicker because of our environment. That's intense. That's intense. because you realize how lucky we are right now. We're so lucky, chat. Oh wow, why did it turn dark? Okay, we're so lucky, chat. We're so lucky that, again, like I was just telling you, I live in an apartment. I have my fucking PC here. I have my futon. You know, it's a mess in here, not gonna lie, but you know, I'm warm. I'm okay. But these people are not okay, and they're genuinely suffering. So I also want to share with you guys, I don't know if anyone recognizes this person, but I have spoken to about this person and shown this person before on stream. Her name is Bisan. Bisan Oda. Oda, I'm sorry if I'm like mispronouncing stuff. But Bisan is a journalist, or someone who was forced to become a journalist in Palestine. And she recently witnessed something terrible happening to her people. She was just a clump of cells who was aborted. You're welcome. I'm sorry, chat. This mother, finally I attracted some loser from YouTube. They're making fun of someone who was murdered in the US that I haven't even started talking about yet. I'm currently talking about Palestinians. But this person, they have PhD in their username, and you for sure know that he's currently like scratching his balls right now in his mother's basement with no fucking job. Let's be for real, bruh. Let me... You're such a loser, bro. What the fuck? Why would you say that? Aren't you on YouTube? I am. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere. Of course I am, yeah. Well, why? Are you confused? Is that too much for you to comprehend? Do you want me to... Maybe we should I keep you on here? Are you actually going to like try to learn something and care for people, or are you just gonna be a loser? I'm a woman, you know, a vagina. Well, damn, you sound like a dumbass. God, Jesus Christ. You know, usually women are smarter than this. Oh, it's this cat mama. You're right. My bad. I should have read. My bad. I didn't mean to misgender you. You just sounded so fucking stupid. I assumed you were a man. My bad. Okay, woman. Do you want to... You chat to my Twitch chat thinks I'm insane. I'm talking to my YouTube chat right now. So, girly, do you want me to ban you, or do you actually want to like contribute to humanity, huh? You want to be a fucking loser? And you're not scratching your balls, I guess you're scratching your dumbass cunt. Yes or no? Come on. She left. You left. I see that my viewership went down by 1. I'm just gonna... Oh, girly, I almost made you my mod. You don't deserve that, Lamau. Here. Remove... Hide user on this channel. Put user in timeout. I can't ban you? Girl, you're lucky, but I'm gonna put you in a timeout. 24 hours, woman. There we go. I did her a favor. You know, I don't want... You know, people shouldn't show their lowest point of themselves on some random anime girl's YouTube chat. I hope you do better, Miss Woman, Cat Mama, PhD. God bless your soul, and may God have mercy on your soul and grant you humanity. Okay. Anyway, let me continue. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So that's right. People are starving, and we need to focus on that. I want to show you Bisan, someone who was who had to become a journalist, who is currently still living in Palestine, who is suffering, who has faced harassment, simply because she is recording and documenting what her people are suffering. And right now she's going to share with us, at only 2 minutes, by the way, because she's not, she doesn't have premium Twitter, premium, I don't know, she's not a premium account. So of course, there's a limit to how long a video can be when you upload it on Twitter now. Now that's the thing. So if it cuts off, that's why. But let's hear what she has to say, what she witnessed recently, due to, you know, the terrible conditions that Palestine is forced to be in right now. Okay, so let's hear this.
This is Wissam talking to you from Gaza, where there is a million reasons to die and 0 reasons to survive. 30 minutes ago, I heard a loud sound. It was like a bombing. And then after that, there was a young man who was screaming and then calling father, mother, and then names. And then the whole neighbors started gathering and screaming as well. And then in the middle of the dark, I saw just by their lids, by their mobile lids, I saw the rubble and the dust around them, and I discovered that because of the wind, it's about 60 kilometers per hour windy night. It's rainy too. And because of this, a ceiling from the close to them 5 floors partially destroyed building fall on the top of the home. They were sleeping. It's not happening for the first time. It's not happening for the first time. During the past like 5 weeks, it happened several times. It happened several times, not only for homes, but also for tents. During the past 1 hour, 4 homes collapsed. In 1 hour, 4 homes collapsed. Most of them had people inside. This video is for the world outside, deciding that Israel stopped its genocide and that everything is over. Nothing is over until these people are safe. Israel is preventing any tools from...
Yeah. And what she was going to finish saying there is that Israel prevents any tools to be sent inside of Palestine. And, you know, people, you know, in hopes of searching for some warmth, they return to the houses that have been bombed at the risk of having it collapse on them and their family. And it usually happens at night. It happens when it's super windy. And poor people that she had to, you know, witness dying in such a horrible way, where they were so cold, they decided to take the risk of, you know, getting shelter at a cold, windy night, and that ended up killing them. She had an update down here. It says, updates, 33-year-old mother, Wafa Sharir, killed as a result of the collapse. So, yeah. It's just pure tents or unsafe buildings that can collapse at any time. And yeah, like she said, she's sharing this. She's sharing this because everyone just assumes that since Trump said there's a ceasefire, Netanyahu said that there's a ceasefire, the military says that there's a ceasefire, that people think there's an actual ceasefire. The ceasefire means protecting the people after the prison swap. The prison swap has been done. You know. there's no sufficient aid going in, and the bombs are not stopping. So there is no ceasefire. And let's not kid ourselves, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. And I deeply apologize for that person who distracted me, but I really, if someone says if someone says something stupid in my chat, I do my best to call them out and humiliate them and then kick them out. But let me read what Scorpio from YouTube chat was saying. They have been watching me, or at least I noticed them chatting more recently. It says, I'm fine with whatever you talk about, to be honest, because it's interesting to see everyone's views on things that happen in the world. And yeah, you don't, let me be for real here. Let me be for real. You don't have to agree with anything I say. You don't. But I feel like everyone deserves a chance to learn something, to hear something, and then decide if they want to agree with me or not, or do something about it, right? You don't have to take a stance. I mean, right now, I am asking people to advocate for those who are suffering. I do want you to take a stance in that way. But, I personally, I feel like politics are about advocating for a political affiliation, right? I'm trying to convince you to vote for someone or whatever the fuck. That's why I always clarify that my politics involve human rights and humanizing people. And I like to give people the chance to think the same way and hear me out. So, if Scorpio wants to hear people's views from around the world, I respect that. You don't have to agree with me. But you just saw someone who obviously has their own agenda, and instead of using, empathy to empathize with me, they rather mock someone who was killed, someone with a family, And so there's too many people like that in this world, especially on the internet. And I want to limit that. It's not popular. It's not popular, of course. And this is why I end up losing followers every day, and compared to a bunch of people who, started before me or are actually in the same footing as me. I have a lesser chance of growing as a content creator because of me deciding to talk about this stuff. But I just want to make it clear to the world that doesn't matter. Like, people still need to talk about stuff like this despite the disadvantages. There's more important things in the world. Scorpio. Oh, and then Scorpio's like, ah! Scorpio's taking a stance about what I just fucking said. They said, hey, I'm a man, and I'm not that damn stupid. Okay, listen. I didn't say all men, okay? I didn't say all men, but most. I didn't say all men, but most. It's true. It's true. Let's go. Come on. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button. It's true. Not all men, but most. Scorpio is not that stupid. Let's make it clear that Scorpio is not that stupid. She is showing what others don't find important to the audiences that watch. Yep. Tamashii, have you seen the movie Fury? I have not, actually. I just noticed that your hair is connected right above your right eye. It would make a heart. Yes! My ahoge. It's up here. It makes a heart. My bangs also make a heart. Thank you for noticing. Gracias. See, this is good that I added the zoom in feature. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's move to the next topic. So I'm going to add one more concern that is going on involving Palestine. I've been wanting to talk about this, but I just never had the chance. Let me turn on the music while I look for this. Oh, I just found it. Boop. Oh, actually, it's right here. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. There we go. I want to talk about these Palestinian activists in British land that have been wrongly accused of criminal activity in Britain, and they have been sent to prison without due process, and they have been having a hunger strike against what is happening to them, and also to demand rights for the Palestinian people. You know, our governments participate in making business with Israel, especially when it comes to like making weapons. And a lot of people who are doing better than you and I, unless you're doing this, but they're doing way better than you and I, going out there to command their governments to stop making business with Israel, to boycott making business with Israel. And these people have been demonized for it and have been sent to prison. And let's read more about it. So this is by The War, The Peace Twitter account. And let's see what they have to say. It says, oh wait, can you guys hear me? Let me make sure. Yosha. It says, 3 Palestinian action prisoners, Hiba Muraisi, Cameron Ahmed, and Louis Chayramelo. Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry if I botched that, if I mispronounced that in any way or form. But these 3 people are risking their lives on hunger strike in protest of prolonged imprisonment without trial. Hiba reached 71 days. Let's zoom in here so you guys can also read this. Oh, well, not on me. Hi. Here, my bad. Hiba has reached 71 days without food on the 12th of January, Cameron 64 days, and Louis 49 days. On the same day, a 4th prisoner, Umar Khalid, announced he had restarted his hunger strike. These people are striking for their goddamn rights. And imagine not fucking eating for 71 fucking days, chat. Hiba Muraisi is now struggling to breathe and suffering uncontrollable muscle spasms, which are possible signs of severe neurological damage. They are among the Filton 24, charged with disrupting the manufacture of weapons at an Israeli-owned Elbit, I don't know how to pronounce that stupid-ass factory, near Bristol. The hunger strikers are demanding immediate bail. Under UK law, the maximum time a prisoner should spend on remand is 6 months. Yet Muraisi and Ahmed, arrested in November 2024, may remain in prison until June 2026. What the fuck? Which is 20 months without trial. What the fuck? And Chayramelo, arrested in July 2025, faces a provisional court date in January. What is going on? January fucking 2027? Which is 18 months remanded. And they haven't had due process? That's fucking insane. Their protest evokes memories of Bobby Sands, who died on the 5th May 1981 on the 66th day of his hunger strike in Mays prison while fighting for political prisoner status. Jesus Christ. So it's been on record in history that someone has already died after the 66th day of not eating. And these are the 3 people, by the way. These are, because we need to humanize these people, by the way. A lot of news outlets either don't talk about them or just like talk about them in a negative light without even showing you the humanity of them. The UK is letting them die. She has not eaten in 71 days out of protesting of her unfair, imprisonment. Hiba Muraisi, and she's been imprisoned because she halted, ruined the Elbit factory's plans of manufacturing war weapons to use to kill Palestinians or any other fucking poor country that is being colonized at this moment. 71 days and she hasn't eaten. Kamran Admid hasn't eaten 64 days. The UK is letting them die. And this is Louis Chiramello, hasn't eaten in 49 days. The UK is letting them die. So, I'm showing this because I have a lot of viewers who are from Europe. Okay. I don't know why. Chat, why do I have Europeans who watch my stream a lot? Like, I have a lot of European friends that I've made through streaming that I have met in Japan as well. Like, I've met a bunch of Europeans here in Japan that I have met through streaming as well. I don't know why. Why? Is it the time zone? But isn't it like hella early for y'all when I stream? Are they? Mama. The world may never know. But these people are fighting for other people's rights, human rights, stopping war criminals from creating more war weapons. And the UK is letting them fucking die. So in this case, the European voice is very important. Not many news outlets are talking about this. Literally, the only people that are talking about it is like people like me on the internet, or more established presence on the internet that, you know, advocate for situations like these. These people, these are the people who are talking about it, but we need like a shit ton of people advocating in Europe for these people. They need our help. Like, they could die, especially the girlie here. 71 fucking days, chat. Imagine that. 71 days she hasn't eaten. She can die at any moment. Oh, I just read that. Wow. This is from the Channel 4 News. A Palestine action activist who's being held awaiting trial on charges of criminal damage has now been on hunger strike for 70 days as concerns about her health grow. 31-year-old Hiba Muraisi, I'm sorry, I keep pronouncing that terribly, a member of now proscribed Palestine Action Group, is one of the 3 prisoners on remand taking part in the hunger strike. They all deny the charges and are demanding immediate bail, which ministers say is a matter for independent judges, not politicians. So, yeah, I like, people need to talk about this because they can die. And, like, they haven't even been treated fairly in terms of how things like this should be handled. Which is why they're, you know, they're doing a hunger strike. So, 21 hours ago, actually, the Palestine Deep Dive announced to us breaking news that immediate danger of death is very possible. So again, the 3 Palestinian action remand prisoners are facing the real possibility of dying as they continue their hunger strike against their imprisonment. Again, now it's been 71 days that Hiba hasn't had any food, and you know, we know the other days for the other people. Many of them are struggling to breathe, are suffering uncontrollable muscle spasms, possible signs of neurological damage. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we read this already, but this is just intense stuff, chat. Europeans in chat, you guys have to like talk about this at least. And I mean, one of the famous Europeans out there that you guys should be really proud of, but I hear that this person has been ostracized, and actually Sweden abandoned her when she actually went on the flotilla mission to go by boat from Italy, go sail to Palestine to forcibly bring medical aid that Palestinians need. Her, among many other activists and volunteers from around the world, went to Palestine, but each of them were kidnapped by the Israeli government and then abused in the Israeli prisons and then returned to their countries. Yet, despite being forced to kiss the Israeli flag in front of people, in front of everyone in Israel while she was being imprisoned, while she was kicked and mocked, and even had her stuff be vandalized, calling her names on her suitcase. Greta Thunberg is still out there fucking protesting and advocating for these people who are imprisoned and are at risk of dying at any moment from their hunger strikes. And this man is Thiago Avila. To those who have been watching TamaTalks, you guys are familiar with him. He as well has been participating in advocating for Palestinian rights, and also participated in the flotilla boat mission. Okay, now he's talking about Greta. Greta Thunberg has been arrested while protesting in solidarity with the 6 people in hunger strike from Palestine Action and against genocide. We need to mobilize as well. So let's hear what he has to say. Let me turn off my music. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me zoom in for y'all. Boop. Oh, God damn it. I keep doing that. No, don't look at me. Boop. Right here. So, once again, to the Sweden people out there, like, you guys gotta step up, man. Your girlie keeps getting arrested and she needs your help in trying to advocate for these people. Boop.
All over the world that Greta has been arrested a few hours ago in London while holding a sign in solidarity with Palestine Action prisoners and against the genocide. And there are some things very important for us to say about this. First of all, what kind of society is this in the United Kingdom, where neo-Nazi and far-right fascists, they go out in the open with their hateful chants, with parliamentary support, with media support, bringing the most hateful ideology, and nothing happens to them. They're actually praised by the state and they have no problem at all, while the UK has already arrested not only Greta, but hundreds of people throughout these 2 years holding signs in solidarity for Palestine and against the genocide.
A sign, bruh.
It's shameful to see that, because the United
Kingdom gets you arrested.
International treaties that demand them to act against genocide. So what they are doing, what Palestine Action was doing by disrupting the armed factories that were sending bombs to kill children in Gaza, was the right thing, not only in a moral sense, but by law. They should not be doing this, and it's very important that the people go in this uprising to stop their complicity. The UK is responsible for most of the surveillance flights that in the last 2 years mapped Gaza, and their flights that departed from Cyprus. So it's very important that we expose that, and Greta was doing that. And the second thing for us to say is exactly that, why Greta was doing this. And it's important for us to show solidarity with her. Greta is a very strong, a very smart and dedicated woman, but she needs our support right now. She needs our support not only for her to be out of this horrible criminalization immediately, but in solidarity with her cause, with the 6 people from Palestine Action who are on hunger strikes in UK prisons at the brink of death because they cannot accept the complicity with genocide and the horrible criminalization that they are suffering. Not only them, but 24 people from Felton that disrupted an arms factory there are facing these criminal charges, and we must stand by them. Not only that, Greta also mentioned that she opposes the genocide because the genocide is still going on in Gaza. 58% of Gaza is still occupied by what they call the Yellow Line and is moving further and further to take more land every day in Gaza. This fake ceasefire,
this is also true. So ever since, and let me explain more on this, ever since the ceasefire, they keep talking about this yellow line. And no one knows where the yellow line is. They just keep adding more land into the yellow line. And if you're within the yellow line, bro, they just fucking nuke you. They bomb you, they shoot at you, or they just kick you out. But they keep like playing the same game of like, oh, go over here, go over there, or we're gonna bomb you. You have like 5 seconds, by the way. Boom. Just like that. They keep doing that shit. And is that a ceasefire? No. Why are they still seizing land? Why are they still stealing land? I thought this was a ceasefire. They should have stopped after the prison swap. This prison swap already fucking happened, and they didn't even release all of the Palestinian prisoners. But, you know, Hamas did more than Israel did in terms of following the fucking rules. So, you know, from the ceasefire fucking deal. And yet the person or the government that keeps breaking that is Israel, and they don't get any repercussions for it. Other than, like, me shit-talking them. But from all the governments around the world, like, most countries aren't doing enough. So that's what the yellow line is. It's a new thing that Israel is doing to, you know, kill more people and abuse them in Palestine.
This fake peace plan from Trump, Netanyahu, and Tony Blair, they are still assassinating people in many different ways. Over 400 people have been assassinated since this fake ceasefire was signed. Not only that, less than 1/3 of the humanitarian aid that was agreed to enter Gaza has been allowed every day. So people are still starving, people are still dying of cold, and we need to continue mobilizing. The peace plan and this fake ceasefire had one of the main objectives to stop solidarity, to confuse people. We must not allow. We must do like Greta and all the people in the United Kingdom and everywhere else who are still mobilizing for the genocide. So I stand with Greta. I support Palestine Action prisoners. I oppose the genocide, and Greta is right. She deserves our full solidarity, and Palestine deserves our full solidarity. Do not stop talking. Do not stop mobilizing. We are together in this, and we win.
Yes, and we win. So I think that is it for the Palestine update. We're going to get into the more serious stuff now. I want to tell everyone here, guys, you will see some very disturbing images. If you guys don't like seeing intense violence, I do like trigger warning, intense violence, someone being killed, and people yelling a lot. So if you guys are very, you know, if that stresses you out and stuff, trigger warning. I'm not gonna tell you to leave because this actually involves something very personal to me. And I also need people to advocate for me and my people who have been suffering in the US. Which is basically why I do TamaTalks, because I know at least a tiny bit how it feels like to be demonized by your government. And now it's gotten to the point where it's not only people like me that are being demonized. They're killing white people now. And because they killed a white person in the United States of America, right now the US is going insane and protesting about this recent killing that has happened in public daylight. So let's talk about that. And let me just bring out the evidence. again, you guys who, to those who weren't here earlier, someone had joined the stream in my YouTube chat and started mocking the person who was killed by ICE agents in the US. And so this stuff is pretty serious. A lot of people, you will know why they are mocking this person pretty soon. But again, viewer discretion is advised. We're going to look at some violent stuff right now. So let me just get that. So let's witness this. First, I'm going to read what happened a little bit from an official news source. Hopefully they are being fair to the person that was killed. But let's read what this has to say. Maybe I should go back a little bit. There we go. There we go. So this is from PBS News. Okay. 5 years between George Floyd and Renee Good videos, confusion has increased. So this is the aftermath of what happened. And they're doing the similarities between what happened to George Floyd and Renee Good. And honestly speaking, chat, like, she was killed in the same way. And the only crime that got white people to unite against this sort of brutality was the fact that she ended up being white. And so it sucks. It sucks because a lot of people have demonized George Floyd and still do. Actually, a lot of VTubers actually used George Floyd as a meme in their streams to make fun of him on how he died. And to those who don't know who George Floyd is, somehow, George Floyd is a man that was basically suffocated to death by the police, by the U.S. police. In the US, it was all caught in video. A bunch of bystanders were trying to help him, but the cops would not let them help him, to the point where there was even I think a volunteer firefighter, I believe, but someone who could have medically helped him. What happened was that this cop ended up kneeling on George Floyd's on George Floyd's neck for a long period of time, and he slowly suffocated to death. And by the time the medics arrived, he was dead. He was dead. And this started the spike of intense protesting in the US that ended up turning violent, not because of the peaceful protesters, but because of the police force that ended up attacking these peaceful protesters. Right-wingers as well, fighting with the peaceful protesters. It ended up becoming violent. You know, at some point, you can't be peaceful anymore. You gotta defend yourself. You gotta defend yourself. And it was a stressful thing to watch because it was broadcasted, the trial against the cop that killed this poor man. And I ended up watching the entire thing. During work, I also had, I was watching through my earbuds. I wasn't watching, but I was hearing the court hearing and everything. Scared, afraid. Are they going to actually arrest this policeman for killing a black man? Like, I've never really, that's not even common. If a police person kills someone, they get away with it all the time. So the world was watching this historical moment where a cop finally gets to see the consequence of his actions. And this man, this police officer, went to jail. Yet, nothing really changed. Nothing really changed, chat. You'd think that there'd be more laws to protect the average U.S. citizen, but nothing really changed. They thought that just by arresting the cop, everything is fine. They did everything that they could. No. Violence has been increasing in the police force and amongst other people with power in the U.S. And now it has resulted in another violent death that has been recorded by many witnesses. Many witnesses. So before I do that, let me read my chat, because there's actually people in YouTube chat as well who are chatting. So Scorpio says, there is a quote in the movie that one of the characters say, ideals are peaceful, history is violent. I see. Okay. Yosh. So let's talk about this, and let me read this. And let me turn on the music since I will be reading this. Boop. So, 5 years ago, video images from Minneapolis street showing a police officer kneeling on the neck of George Floyd as his life slipped away ignited a social movement. Now, videos from, oh my god, I just fucking realized this also happened in Minneapolis. Both of these incidents happened in Minneapolis. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. This is fucking ridiculous. I didn't realize, chat, just after reading this. Fuck. Oh my god. Anyway, sorry. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this more clearly. Now videos from another Minneapolis street showing the last moments of Renee Good's life are central to another debate about law enforcement in America. They've slipped out day by day since ICE agent Jonathan Ross shot Good last Wednesday in her maroon SUV. Yet compared to 2020, the story these pictures tell is murkier, subject to manipulation both within the image itself and the way it is interpreted. This time, too, the Trump administration and its supporters went to work establishing their own public view of the event before the inevitable, and I always have a hard time saying this word, inevitable imagery appeared. But half a decade later, so many things are not the same. From cultural attitudes to rapidly evolving technology around all kinds of imagery, we are in a different time, said Francesca Dillman Carpenter, a University of North Carolina journalism professor and expert on the media's impact on audiences. Oh my god. So imagery can change attitudes. No one who saw the searing video of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin with his knee on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes on May 25th, 2020 is likely to forget it. I haven't forgotten it. And Chauvin's impassive face, Floyd insisted he couldn't breathe. It was terrible, Jeff. If you haven't seen the video, if you weren't there, if you didn't care. And this is why, like, I couldn't even believe that VTubers during this time were using this incident as a joke. Like, within weeks, months, fucking, who's that chick who steals art and doesn't pay their artists or doesn't pay them enough, their editors enough? What's her name? Who does AI shit as well, I'm assuming. What's her name? Fillion. There you go. Fillion actually made fun of George Floyd by making a very gross joke about not being able to breathe, and she was basically referencing this incident that had recently happened during that time. And she's like, she hosts the VTuber Awards, okay? She's one of the most popular VTubers out there, yet she doesn't face consequences for her shitty actions, okay? Fuck. And those are the people we let be famous in this industry as well. So, George Floyd, during his last moments, he ended up crying for his mother. He was asking his mother to help, that he couldn't breathe, he couldn't breathe. And then he just stopped. He just stopped breathing and he fucking died. It was terrible. Wow, sorry. It was fucking terrible. So, united in revulsion, demonstrators began one of the nation's largest ever social movements. Chauvin was convicted of murder. And this was, again, Chad, this is unheard of. Police officers rarely face anything when they commit a crime. Okay? You know, I didn't know if he was going to be convicted of murder or not when I was watching the trial. And when he was, I was at work. And I dropped to my knees at work because I was relieved. But I wasn't happy because George Floyd still ended up being fucking dead. And he died a horrible, slow death, by the way. So I didn't really feel like anyone won anything unless like true change happened. But fucking hell, what year is it? 2026. 6 years later, something similar happened. The footage caused many individuals to experience an epiphany about racism, specifically cultural racism in the United States. Legal scholar Angela Onwuachi-Willing, I'm sorry if I pronounced that fucking wrong, wrote in a Houston Law Review study that examined whether white Americans experience a collective cultural trauma. I suppose that's fucking true. I never even thought of that. I never even fucking thought of that. Because stuff like this is normal for black and brown people in the US, right? Like violence against us by police forces is something that we are just forced to think as normal. But I suppose this is the first time where a white person was forced to witness that and to deal with it, because a bunch of white people, the people who witnessed George Floyd being slowly killed and suffocated to death, were a bunch of white people that were trying to help, and they weren't letting them help this poor man. She eventually concluded that that didn't happen and that the impact diminished with time. It did diminish with time, she's right. The rollback of diversity programs with the second Trump administration offers evidence for her argument. So basically, nothing ended up happening and nothing changed. So I guess, oh, I see. So she was trying to see, okay, this is actually very thought-provoking. She was trying to see if this event would spark white people in America to make sure that something is done about what had just happened. You know, collective cultural trauma usually forces people to demand their governments to do something about what had just happened. But it didn't. It didn't happen. That's insane. The people who are writing the cultural narrative of Good's shooting took notes from Floyd's killing and are managing this narrative differently, said Kelly McBride, an expert on media ethics for the Poynter Institute. Let me see how long this is. Oh, no, we're close. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem labeled Good, which is the person who was recently killed, and I'm so sorry that you cannot see what I'm trying to read to you. They labeled Good, who was demonstrating in opposition to ICE enforcement of immigration laws, a domestic terrorist, an interpretation that Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frade dismissed with an expletive. Both President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance suggested the shooting was justified because Good was trying to run Ross down with her vehicle. Ross is the guy who was the ICE agent. And I need to make this clear for people who are not Americans, even to people who are Americans, by the way, even to people who are fucking Americans. ICE agents are immigration officers that deport people who are, and I'm giving you a basic rundown. Okay, you can look it up. But ICE agents in America are basically people who deport illegal immigrants in the United States who are not U.S. citizens, who enter the country illegally, or who are doing work or business illegally in the United States. They kick those people out, and these people usually end up being Latinos, people like me, and other people from around the world who are escaping the unfairness of their countries, just to find a better life in the U.S. The U.S. is known for getting cheap labor and actually enjoy hiring illegal immigrants to work for them simply because they are cheap labor that they can exploit. So ICE agents, in the name of protecting the U.S., go do ICE raids and randomly kidnap these immigrants and disappear them from society, the U.S. society, either by returning them to the country that they came from, or God knows where they send them. Some end up disappearing, some end up being abused, some just end up being sent somewhere else that no one knows. And this is a fear that many immigrants or people who know immigrants are in fear of in the U.S. They don't want to go back to the country they tried to escape from. And they also don't want to know, like, they don't want to face what they're going to suffer from ICE detention. And so a lot of people have finally been speaking out against this. This is a fear that I've always lived throughout my life. I've always heard horror stories from some other people. Even if I'm a U.S. citizen, if an ICE agent looks at me and is like, okay, that's a Mexican, she's definitely illegal, I'm going to fucking try to deport her, I can still get attacked, you know, even if I have every right. But because I'm Mexican, like, you know, I have no rights, you know. So it's a scary thing, and a bunch of people have been protesting that. And so people are changing the narrative. They're bending the truth a little bit, because people want to protect people like me who have descendants from immigrants, who know people who are immigrants, or just simply who are immigrant. The media can say, oh, they're protecting terrorists because they're illegal, and because they're illegal they must be terrorists, when the only thing that these fucking people do, that most immigrants do, is pay their fucking taxes with no benefits, and also just work to send money back to their families to survive. And so people are claiming that Good, the woman that was killed, is a terrorist, and that she tried to run down the ICE agent with her vehicle. The ICE agents are different from cops. They have no power like cops do in the US. They're just there to protect the border and to deport people. But they don't have legal right to, like, force themselves in your house, to fucking arrest people or anything. They can't do that shit unless they have you know, a warrant. And usually they fucking don't. They literally just go and choose someone and just disappear them from society. So let's finally get to describe what happened. On the night of the killing, White House reporter Cesar Tom Hammond was cautious in an interview with the CBS Evening News when anchor Tony Docapulli showed him the most widely distributed video of the incident, taken by a bystander and posted by a reporter for the Minnesota Reformer. The veteran law enforcement official said it would be unprofessional for him to prejudge before an investigation. Okay, smart guy, I guess. Later that evening, Homan issued a statement calling the shooting another example of the results of hateful rhetoric and violent attacks against U.S. immigration and custom enforcement and border patrol officers. So fucking stupid, bro. These guys have fucking guns and they're scared of a civilian that literally does not have a gun and has no power over them. Video allows both sides to interpret. Video of the incident has been generally inconclusive about whether Good's vehicle actually hit Ross before it opened fire. So we're gonna look at this video, chat, and you and me are going to decide if she was trying to run over this dumbass ICE agent or not, okay? Even if she fucking did, however, many experts question whether that represented grounds for firing his weapon. Clearly, however, that would bolster public sympathy for the officer. These ICE videos do present irrefutable facts. A woman drove her car and then she was shot dead by an ICE agent, said Dewey Ling to a documentarian and professor at the Columbia University Journalism School. What the videos can't show is the intent of the woman or the officer, and that's the tricky part. Now the thing is, you're going to see soon why it's not that tricky, at least in my opinion. Good, the woman that was killed, obviously can't speak to what motivated her to put her SUV in drive and move on Portland Avenue South. Several news organizations have carefully examined the forensic evidence that has emerged. The Associated Press wrote that it was unclear if Good's car made contact with Ross. The Washington Post wrote that videos examined by the Post, including one shared on Truth Social by Trump, do not clearly show whether the agent is struck or how close the front of the vehicle comes to striking him. The New York Times said that in one video, it looks like the agent is being struck by the SUV, but when we synchronize it with the first clip, we can see the agent is not being run over. Fucking Christ. Mans linked to the video online and wrote, "Many of you have been told this law enforcement officer wasn't hit by a car, was being harassed and murdered an innocent woman. The reality is that his life was endangered and he fired in self-defense." No. You will see soon, chat. We will see soon. But fucking, really? You're gonna shoot a woman? He shot her like fucking 3 times in the fucking face, chat, okay? Yeah, she was in a car, but a bunch of... We're gonna watch the video, okay? We're gonna fucking... I'm just like sharing you the narratives from news sources, by the way. From trusted news sources that you know, are being ambiguous. They're not trying to accuse anyone, but they're trying to lean towards protecting the ICE agent. And officials like Trump and people who work for Trump are just straight up saying like that she was going to kill the ICE agent with her car, with no evidence, by the way. And they're kind of blind because the ICE agent, like, if it was true, then why isn't he in the hospital? Like, he would have some marks, right? Or anything. A bunch of people recorded it, and here's the thing, chat. Here's the fucking thing. Okay? Here's the thing. He was recording the incident the entire time. He got out of his car randomly, went up to her, and he was recording her with his phone. So we can have the POV of him interacting with the woman he killed and when he shot her. And we just need to see that video to clearly see that intent of what was going on and judge if he was really in danger or fucking not, okay? And we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. I've watched the videos already, but I didn't see anything that goes against TOS in terms of like blood and stuff. So we should be good. But if something ends up slipping through, I apologize. It wasn't in my intention. And also, this is, you know, just reacting. I'm not fucking doing this for fun. This is for educational purposes. So let's go back to this. How can anyone on the planet watch this video and conclude what JD Vance says? Okay, the administration is lying to you, and that's what I'm saying as well. Do more angles provide more clarity? When one online commentator wrote that Good did not deserve to be shot in the face, conservative media figure Megyn Kelly responded, "Yes, she did. She hit and almost ran over a cop." And the thing is, chat, actually no. Actually no. Because have you guys seen those videos where cops are like chasing a car? There's like a car chase. Usually cops are not supposed to do that unless a person driving is a harm. Is a harm to the communities that they're driving through, right? But they're not supposed to shoot at the car or anything. They're not supposed to do crazy shit unless they can make sure that people are safe, you know, that they're safe, that there's no bystanders there, because a car can kill people. And if you shoot the driver of a car, he can run over some other civilian. There's laws against this, and this is stuff that cops have to do. ICE agents aren't even trained, okay? Cops are barely trained, and ICE agents are less trained. They don't even, anyone can be an ICE agent. I can be an ICE agent myself. The same thing with cops, I suppose. But it's easier to become an ICE agent. I can just go there, get a gun, and deport my own people, and I guess fucking shoot them at any moment. But they, you know, they have no cop power. They have less power than cops. They're supposed to be at the border. What the fuck are they doing? Kidnapping people and fucking shooting women in the face. Even if she was a menace in her car, there was many bystanders. She could have killed someone if I was gonna say if she was killed, but she was killed. So what? So yeah, no, even by law, even by training, you're not supposed to shoot someone in the fucking face who's driving a car, because they can end up killing someone else by proxy. Pointers McBride said the media has generally done a good job and careful job outlining the evidence that is circulating around the public. But the administration, aka the government, the US government, has also been effective in spreading its interpretation, she said. There are more camera angles available now that there was with Floyd. There are more camera angles available now than there was with Floyd. But I don't know if this adds clarity or more fog to this case, Chu said. I think that people will see what they want to see, or rather they'll pick the angle that aligns with what they already believe. The nagging sense of uncertainty left by the videos leaves experts like Tu and Carpenter to conclude they will pale in impact compared to the Floyd case. With each passing year, the public is becoming more desensitized to images of violence. As the online spread of footage showing Republican activist Charlie Kirk illustrated, she said. The spread of AI-enhanced fake images is also teaching the public to question what it sees. Shit, that is also true. Fuck AI, man. Are you kidding me? I didn't even think of that. A bunch of people are fucking paranoid as well. Because they can just be like, that's AI. But it's God. And this is why AI is legal, by the way. Precisely for these moments to protect people who are committing crimes in the name of the government. Before Ross was identified, BBC verified said false images were being spread online speculating about what the mass agent looked like, and a fake video of Minneapolis demonstration spread. Now you can't even believe what you're seeing, Carpenter said. You don't know if what you're seeing is a real video or if it has been doctored. I don't think AI is being a friend in this case at all. And that is the end of this article. And again, this is a PBS article. And this is what it's called for anyone who wants to read it as well. But yeah, so basically this is just outlining how people have reacted. I thought it would describe the incident more in detail, but I suppose this article assumes that everyone has seen the videos. Therefore, you don't need an explanation of what happened. But now we're gonna watch the videos. Again, viewer discretion is advised. These are violent images. There's yelling. It's not a pleasant sight. Let me just pause this a bit. So this is just 39 seconds of what just happened, chat, and let me turn off the music here. Here it is. This is just 39. Did I say minutes? My bad. 39 seconds of what happened. I want to like witness this together so we can like come into our own conclusions, right? We can see what happened with our own very eyes and conclude, hey, is this real? Is this truthful? You know, what's going on here? Because the government is going to be saying a lot of things, and yeah, like we can't really believe what the government says all the time.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood!
Okay.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Dude, you did a murder for what?
So yeah, that happened really quickly. As you can see, that happened really quickly. This is also a terrible angle as well, but this was like basically the main footage that was being spread around in the beginning. Sorry, that is my alarm. But basically you can hear the cops yelling at Good, saying, get out of the car, get out of the car. And then she backs up, she drives away, and that's when he shoots her in the face about 3 times. I think that was the gunshots that we heard 3 times. And yeah, obviously she fucking loses control of the vehicle because she's unconscious. And she crashes. So that's what we just saw. Not pleasant imagery right there. I don't want to replay it multiple times because there is more videos that we will be watching with different angles, but that was a specific angle right there. Now after that shooting happened, this is the aftermath of what had just happened right there. So I will read this snippet. It says here, ICE agents are not above the law. Any loss of life at the hands of law enforcement demands full transparency and accountability, especially when an agency with a recent history of brutality is involved. We cannot trust the federal government to investigate itself. Communities across Minnesota deserve clear answers about what occurred, why deadly force was used, and whether proper protocols were followed. An independent and transparent investigation conducted by local and state law enforcement in Minnesota is essential. ICE increasingly out-of-control behavior in local communities has long raised fears among immigrants and communities of color, particularly regarding aggressive enforcement tactics and lack of oversight. Incidents like this deepen fear and mistrust, particularly among immigrant families who already feel targeted and unsafe. Well, it's not that we feel, it's that we know, fucking hell. Federal authorities must not be shielded from scrutiny. Justice requires an investigation that is impartial, through, and made public. So this is a different angle, I think. Yep, this is a different angle. So this is an even more clearer angle. The other angle we just saw was pretty fucking terrible. But you can see here when a little bit more clear this angle from someone else. This is 4 minutes long, so I will kind of skip through and see if there's anything new that will happen. But this is the what happened, a different angle, and the aftermath of what happened. So this is the truck that the ICE agent just randomly popped out of, and he immediately went towards a goods car and demanded her to get out. This guy right there. Get out of the car, he says.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking god! What the fuck? What the fuck? You just fucking... What the fuck did you do? You all are fucking criminals! You're fucking criminals! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You are fucking insane!
And that's the car that crashed.
What did you do? You! Shame! 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 Shame!
That's the guy that killed her.
Shame!
That's the fucking guy that killed her.
Shame! Dude, what's happening to her? What happened?
She was shot in the face like 3 fucking times, bro. And the thing is like, yeah, call 911, but like, obviously the bystanders are confused, but these fucking guys are not doing anything. The ICE agents, I mean. Oh shit. Oh my god, wait. Yeah, she's gonna look. She's gonna look.
Okay. Dude, you shot her! I'm trying to help! No! No! You fucking shot someone in the fucking face! You shot someone in the fucking face! Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Don't let the murderer leave! Don't let the murderer leave! You guys are the fucking criminals! You don't get to tell us what to do! Fucking criminals! Don't let him leave!
This license plate EVC 289.
Don't let him leave!
Wow, and he fucking flees the scene? Are you kidding me?
No! Get the fuck out of our neighborhood!
And the thing is that this is her neighborhood. This is where she lives. This is where she's from. So her house is nearby. I believe she had just dropped off her son from school, I believe. And her wife had to witness her be killed in front of her. So if you hear like a woman screaming like crazy, it's because her wife was just killed in front of her eyes. And then a bunch more people are losing their
Yeah,
minds
it's a
right
fucking
now.
crime. We fucking know it. We're here.
Fucking cowards, and that's when they fucking leave, is when they, after they fucking commit a crime.
Like, what the absolute fuck, man? What the absolute fuck? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? This is the time, man. This is the time to have a conscience. This is not okay. This is not okay. Get a fucking conscience.
Can you look at me and tell me you're doing the right thing? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You didn't put any weapon. Fucking your people did, man.
In the head. In the head.
I didn't do anything.
And she drove into the car.
You, look at me. Look at me. You can't even
Watch out, man. Watch out.
Why don't you look at me? I thought you could do it. You you're so good.
This is... Ay, ay, ay. And she's still not receiving medical aid, by the way. She's been shot 3 times in the face or car crashed, and she's not getting any aid right now.
You okay, mommy?
Is that her? Yeah. So wow, that was insane. I didn't watch the whole thing. But yeah, people witnessed this guy shoot her good in the face 4 times, 5 times, I don't know, 3 times. I don't know, way too many times. And of course a bunch of people are fucking protesting, and this is a different angle, chat. This is a different angle after she was shot, by the way. After that, there's her car. As you can see, her car is right there. It crashed on a pole, I believe, obviously, because she was shot in the face once again. And there's a bystander. There's a fucking bystander in this scene right here, and he is begging the ICE agents to let him go through and try to provide medical aid to the person who was just shot in the face. And this is their reaction to that.
Can I go check a pulse? No! Back up! Now! I'm a physician!
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the fuck do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Just relax. They don't let the guy who obviously knows what he's doing, who is a physician, they don't let that guy help. The same happened with George Floyd. There was someone who could have helped George Floyd, and they refused to let that person help him. I believe it was someone, a firefighter, I believe, an off-duty firefighter who could have helped George Floyd, but they did not let her get close to him. There's a physician on the scene in this specific instance where Good is bleeding out, basically, and they're not letting the fucking doctor help her. They're not. And so this is, and I just read it in the article, but here is an example from Fox News describing Good in a not so pretty way. Like, they're making fun of her basically on national television. which is why the person earlier who was basically saying that she deserved to die, that she was being aborted or whatever the fuck that idiot said, is because they probably watch Fox News, and they believe that anyone who is LGBTQ who, well, let's just hear his tone and you'll see like how he sees these people. Just hear the tone of this person.
The woman who lost her life was a self-proclaimed poet from Colorado with pronouns in her bio. A 37-year-old white woman named Renee Good. The Daily Mail says she leaves behind a lesbian partner and a child from a previous marriage. She was a disruptor, though she considered herself a legal observer. But there's no evidence she had a law degree. The woman...
Okay, bruh. But you see how he goes, she had pronouns. What is that? She had pronouns. She... Well, let's see.
Was a self-proclaimed poet.
Self-proclaimed poet.
From Colorado, with pronouns in her bio.
With pronouns in her bio. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? He's mocking her. He's mocking her, chat. I hope you guys can understand what he's doing here.
A 37-year-old white woman named Renee Good. The Daily Mail says she leaves behind a lesbian partner and a child from a previous marriage.
God damn it.
She was a disruptor, though she considered herself a legal observer. But there's no evidence she had a law degree.
She was a disruptor. Chat, it is our legal right to protest things that we don't agree with, especially in the United States of America. But she doesn't have a law degree. You don't have to have a law degree to... basically, this is what I'm doing. Do I need a law degree to talk about this shit? No. But since I don't, do I deserve to get shot in the face fucking 5 times? No. But fucking hell, she was a lesbian mother and now she's dead. And her kid doesn't have a mom anymore. It's what is this? This is insane. Let me read chat. So ICE are basically modern gang members. I suppose, but they're gonna claim that I'm a gang member and that's why they have to shoot me in the face. Is basically what it is. How can they easily get away with it so easily? How can they get away with it so easily? Sorry, I misread that. I mean, because they work for the government. And also, by the way, chat, like, I'm going to tell you this. This sort of violence is something that I grew up with. Okay, this is something that's normal to me. And part of me is like kind of conflicted because people started caring once a white chick was murdered in broad daylight. Okay, people are protesting. A bunch of people are getting together because this time an ICE agent ended up killing a white woman. They usually kill people like me or other black and brown immigrants or people they suspect to be immigrants. But this time they made the mistake of killing a white chick. And they still mock her, by the way, because she was a lesbian. So not even a lesbian. I guess she was bi since, or I don't know. I won't assume what she identifies as, but she did have a same-sex partner. So I guess that's why Fox News is mocking her, because obviously people, and I'm being sarcastic, but people in the LGBTQ community don't deserve human rights either. So it's fucked up, chat. It's fucked up. And this is how the media is portraying things, and other medias that are like in the fence, they're in the middle ground, they're centrist, they don't want to, say anything. They just want to keep things in the middle, right? They don't want to say anything important. But when you don't address an obvious issue, that helps the bad guys, by the way. It's just how things work. And this is why, like, news outlets that are seen as liberal or centrist usually end up helping like Fox News or other right-wing people who hate humans, by the way, who like discriminating people, because they're not willing to go up there and just speak out on what's happening and what's right. And I can't believe like that he's mocking her after she's been shot in the face. It's just so disrespectful, but they do it to my people, right? Now we've seen like at least 3 or 4 different angles of what had just happened, right? 3 or 4 different fucking angles of what just happened. And the thing is, the cop that, again, chat, the cop that shot her, he was recording the entire thing. He had his phone out, had it to her face, and then he shot her. So, we have to make sure, we have to see that footage. Is it deleted? Did they destroy the footage? Even if they destroy the footage, it's been recorded. It's on there. It's on the phone. We can hack the phone and find out what's in that fucking phone. Well, chat, recently, it's been released. The footage of the guy who shot her from his POV has been released. And I didn't get to watch it, but Hassan has already reacted to it. So we're going to react to that and see what happened. It's going to be easier for me to watch as well because he automatically censors these sort of things. So I won't be breaking TOS. I'll be mostly safe. Just in case the video ends up showing a bunch of blood after he shoots her in the fucking face. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, let me read chat. My bad. Before I do that. Hello sis, good evening. By the way, I got a badge. Okay, thank you for joining, Hakchua boy. Why did you make me read that? God damn it. But have a good night. Thank you for chatting. OMG, of course. Hello, Zaya36. Okay. So, Hassan ended up reacting to Renee's final moments from the POV of the guy who fucking shot her. So let's see what happened.
We obviously have
Mate. It's 13 minutes long. So to the Hassan haters, don't worry. It's only 13 minutes long. And this is censored, and this is way better for us to react to. So let's hear it. And let me make sure you guys can hear it as well. I haven't seen this yet. I haven't seen the footage. But yeah, see, she's right there. That's her. That's her in the car. Here, let me actually zoom in here so you guys can see. That's her in the car. So I haven't seen this yet. I don't know what's gonna happen, but at least it's censored, and we're gonna hear Hassan's input on it.
Have the phone camera footage that these guys actually leaked to a local right-wing group called like Alpha News, and we're going to be talking about that because as protests grow across the United States after the ICE shooting in Minneapolis, Republicans, instead of retreating and deciding that this was a bad apple type situation, they're just going full tilt, pressing on the gas to the best of their ability and defending it. And of course, the Republican commentariat is also full tilt invested in defending it. And these are the final moments of Renee Good, filmed by the person who actually killed her. I guess it's another filter moment. I don't know. If you're like super biased, you genuinely see the exact opposite thing that I see. I saw this video and I thought this actually showcases that she had no ill intent whatsoever, even though they leaked it themselves, as Evan Hill points to here. Notable that after the Justice Department blocked Minnesota law enforcement agencies from participating in the investigation into ICE, because that is what happened, and denied—
What? Justice Department blocked Minnesota law enforcement agencies from participating in the investigation into the ICE shooting. and denied them access to evidence. The involved agent's cell phone video has leaked to a local right-wing outlet. What the fuck is going? Are they fucking stupid? Also, what?
Denied them access to evidence. The involved agent's cell phone video has leaked to a local right-wing outlet. And yeah, the phone camera footage is here. And now it's yet another instance where people that look at it and see two different things, like two separate realities. So he gets out of his car. This is Jonathan Ross's POV. He gets out of his car. This red car is the Honda Pilot that belongs to Renee Good. In the back seat of the red car that belongs to Renee Good is Renee's dog, okay?
Oh my God.
He first rolls up. She's very clearly initiating, like reversing here, because we've seen this video. We've seen this footage from the other angle. She's very clearly reversing here.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
She says, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." Smiling, interacting. You can see his visage. You can see Jonathan Ross's image as he is filming the entire camera. No, she had reversed at this point. She's not reversing it. No, she's reversing. Look. Look. She's looking behind. Wheels are turned. From her side, the wheels are turned to the left. She is indicating a reversal, right?
Oh, she just reversed just there. She reversed.
She reverses. This is the first reversal that we saw. Okay, she's smiling. Renee Goods, in her last moments, is smiling and looking at her murderer, Jonathan Ross, and saying, "It's fine.
I'm not mad at you.
It's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." You can literally see her plushies from this camera angle. Okay.
That's right. When she was killed, I'm sorry, you probably saw her lifeless body in one of the footages I showed you. That wasn't my intention. I didn't realize that happened, or that it showed that. But some people took pictures of the incident, and you could see her lifeless dead body. I'm assuming she was dead at that time, but her body bleeding out, limped over, and on the side you could see her glove compartment box being filled with children's toys. Okay, she was a mother, she had a kid, and you can see the children toys right here, like the plushies in the glove compartment box. And this photo became like very, like, spread throughout this whole thing, like indicating that this person was just a mother. And I didn't even realize. I mean, I haven't watched this, chat. I haven't fucking watched this before. This is my first time even seeing this one. When was this released? 3 days ago? Are you kidding me? Those were her, really? Those were her fucking last words. "I'm not even mad at you." Wow. Yeah. Her last words were, "I'm not even mad at you."
In her glove compartment box, there's a dog in the back of the car.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come to.
This is, from what I understand, I think this is her partner, right?
No. She was that close? Oh my God.
Us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking guy.
U.S. citizen, former what?
U.S. citizen, former fucking guy.
I don't know what she says, but this is her partner. This is her wife, former veteran.
You want to come at us?
Wow.
You want to come at us?
He switches his
I say go
hands.
get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car.
So she tries to get in the car.
She tries to get in the car? Oh my God, this is... Oh God. Sorry, chat. I didn't know the wife was that close. I didn't know. Oh God, this is stressing me out. She tries to get into the car with her wife. Oh, fuck. God damn it. God.
Car, she's reversing, right? Former veteran. While her partner's trying to get into the car from the other door, the doors are locked. She starts reversing and starts moving to get out of the way, okay? With all these people coming in, as soon as the other ICE agents roll up, you can't see it from this angle, obviously, and you can kind of see it right here.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Door lock because she shifted the drive, probably an auto locking mechanism, right? And you can only hear the 3 gunshots.
It was 3
The truly
gunshots.
evil right-wing hogs are looking at this video, okay? And I don't know if there's like a cut here or not, but the right-wing hogs are looking at, I think this is the full video, or at least like the important part of the full video that he filmed. And they are trying to say that from this angle, it shows that she was clearly trying to kill him. You can straight up see the car turning away from him.
Get out of the car.
Can you apologize now? Apologize to what?
What?
If you
For
think
what?
that this is proof that she was trying to, she's a terrorist who's trying to murder this ICE agent. You are dumber than dirt. Not only are you dumber than dirt, if you look at this video and see anything but an ICE agent who has hurt feelings and is quick draw McGraw, pulls his gun out, clearly never even remotely in a situation where his life is threatened at all, just pulls his gun out, he's pissed off, and he just unloads. If you see anything but that, you are out of your fucking mind. Also, I don't know why we only hear 2 shots in this video. People who understand flopping when they talk about NBA or when you fake a foul in soccer have no concept of this in this moment. Cool story, man. You're right, dude. I wish all of your mothers will experience a similar thing then, and then maybe then you will understand, okay? State-sponsored execution. We'll still obviously fight against it every step of the way, but I don't think a lot of you hogs are ever going to understand until it happens to you, until it happens to a loved one. I don't think you're ever going to comprehend what took place here. You're just incapable of seeing it. And I know for a fact that you're incapable of seeing it, even though you're inconsistent in your process, because as soon as I say, oh, well, I hope it happens to you know, a loved one for you, you'll turn around and say, wow, this is a death threat. Why would this be a death threat? Why would this be a death threat? It's perfectly valid, right? It's perfectly legal. You're defending it as being perfectly legal. So which one is it? If it's a perfectly legal situation, you'll defend it if it happens to your mother too. If you are ever in the vicinity of a cop, a vicinity of an ICE agent, and he gets pissed off and decides to shoot your parent, you have to defend it. You have to sit there and defend it. We won't. Hassan, yesterday you were talking about how people are finally waking up, and now today you're saying they won't understand until it finally happens to them. No, there are plenty of people. There are...
No, listen. The thing is, it's like, I'm actually sad. I can't believe that she was that close to her partner before they murdered her fucking wife in front of her face. Shit. That sucks. I'm so devastated by that. I didn't think her wife was right there. Fuck. Man, that's twice YouTube on my side crashed. Sorry about that. To me, it looks more like he took a step towards the car on purpose when she started to drive. It's not bad until it happens to them. No, that's the thing, though. A lot of people are saying that, like, a lot of people from all sides are saying that she was trying to kill the ICE agent. But they weren't even making it easy for her to fucking leave the situation. So I can understand her out of frustration just like taking matters into her own hands and then moving past the agent. But like, yeah, they were literally in front of her car and they were going towards her car and she was backing up. She was trying to get out and they weren't moving. So she kind of had to just move herself out of this stressful situation. I don't think any of this warranted 3 shots to the face at all.
Plenty of people who are waking up to this reality. It's just not happening on the internet, and it's not happening on, Twitter, and it's certainly not happening on Twitter adjacent communities like Twitch. You need to understand that. It is happening. You're just not seeing it right here. Like, normies that see this kind of stuff are not on board with it. I promise you. If you put this in front of otherwise like out of touch wine moms that don't really care, that like the Disney adults, the wine moms, the right-wing churchgoers and stuff like that don't really pay attention to the news. When you see something like this and you see the way that people are talking about this person, okay, the way that people are talking about this person in the car that got killed, it comes across as gross to the normies. But you rarely ever see that on the internet because it's mostly not normies that are talking about it on the internet. It's brain broken monsters that are talking about it on the internet in terms that you see. Renee Good's last words that you can see in the video quite literally are, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." These guys want us to believe that this woman is a terrorist.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
These were her last words, man. These were her last words. They want us to believe that the ICE agent was not power tripping and in a moment of panic unloaded 3 shots from close range onto this person, and all of these other people are trying to engage in post hoc rationalizations as to why the state sanctioned murder was totally fine. They want you to think she's the threat. Like, when people say around and find out, what they're talking about is you're not supposed to offer lip to anyone that presents themselves as a position of authority. That's what they are saying. Around and find out about. The real argument here is not about whether or not this person is sincerely a terrorist or deserved this death, or actually the cops or the ICE agents were ever in fear for their lives. The real argument is, how dare you speak out against ICE, which is an expression of the justified violence that my favorite president is bringing to this country. That's it. She talked back and she deserves to be killed, and I wish I could kill her myself, is the attitude that these people have. It's not even just like bootlicking, I think, for a lot of people. And I saw someone unintentionally reveal their own personal pathological frustrations, this psychosexual frustrations that they have. When someone posted a photo of Renee Good and said, "Oh, this woman is the exact same type of person that has like smugly said no to me my whole life."
What the fuck? Wait, let me read that. Let's read that, chat. Here, what the fuck? "I feel like I have been condescended by a woman who looks exactly like this 1,000 times." That's what you have to say after she got shot in the face 3 times? What the fuck? These guys are fucking psychopaths. Oh my god.
The exact same type of person that has like smugly said no to me my whole life. I'm sure you guys might have seen that. Like there was a guy who very clearly revealed like he's just mad at everyone that has wronged him in his life. Every libtard SJW woman that has wronged him. And then this is it. Great point. If her killer can walk free, let's let Tyler Robinson go free too. Also, these people then turn around and talk about like a assassination in the
Oh my god, there's no way. Are you kidding me? Let's look at this. Great point. If her killer can walk free, let's let Tyler Robinson go free too. Tyler Robinson's whatever his name is the guy that killed Charlie Kirk in front of everyone. And the tweet that this person is quote retweeting from says, "But she had 3 children in her family. Yeah, so did Charlie Cook. I called him Charlie Cook, my bad. Charlie Kirk. And you mocked and laughed at him." The thing is that guy was advocating for the thing that killed him. Okay? For the thing that killed him. His last words weren't anything beautiful or whatever. His last words was him trying to insinuate that that gun violence is done by gang crime. And who are the people who are in gangs? Obviously black and brown people. And then he got shot after he fucking said that. He got shot in the neck. If the kid that shot him in the neck deserves to be in jail, then the ICE agent that shot fucking Good in the face 3 times also deserves to be in jail, especially since she's a genuine good person and didn't do anything to warrant getting shot in the face. This is honestly insane to me. I can't believe this. Straight male cops can't fathom a woman civilian talking back to them. That is very true. It's true. I can't imagine being such a spiritually sad person. Yeah, we are Charlie Cook. It's true, they are. Yeah, they are.
Hands of like a random person and state-sanctioned violence, okay? They genuinely think it's always appropriate if a cop kills someone or if an ICE agent kills someone. That's the problem here. I feel like I have been condescended by a woman who looks exactly like this thousands of times. Second grade children who hates children, second grade teacher who hates children vibes. Like, this is what it is, okay? For many people that look at this video and seek to justify what took place, they can't comprehend that Renee Good could have been their parent. Renee Good could have been their neighbor that has a political disagreement with them every now and then, but still, you know, is kind and makes cookies for them. They see Renee Good as a woman that has wronged them at some point in their lives, so they look for a way to justify it. They look for a way to justify and defend this, okay? I'm going to play this part one more time. Her last words to her murderer was, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. What he said about her in the aftermath of executing her in broad daylight, he called her a f***ing bitch. Her last words to him was, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." His last words after shooting her was, "Fucking bitch." People that try to say that this is, you know, this assessment is like emotional or whatever are idiotic, because the clinical assessment here that I gave from the start is exactly the same. You're obviously not going to be able to see the exact movement of the car from this footage, because this footage is a first-person POV that is liable to look like when you move your phone around, when you're filming something. If you've ever actually dropped your phone on accident, or if you move your phone around, it looks a lot more impactful than it actually is.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
So I think a lot of people are leaning into the loud noises that they hear from him pulling his gun out as he steps back, but while leaning.
That's actually true. That all that wrestling, it makes it look like he was under attack, but it's just him pulling out his gun.
Forward, his upper body is leaning forward to get a clearer sight on this woman that has pissed him off, that has wronged him in that moment, where he's going to show his righteous rage, trying to pull out his gun. Iraq veteran, who some people are saying is actually unironically married to a Filipino woman too. Another one of these libertarian guys with Filipino wives, an ICE agent now, which is so crazy. I think this is the most incriminating video yet, shot from the killer's own POV, and at 31 seconds you can clearly see Jonathan Ross grab his phone with his left hand so he can free up his right hand to unholster his gun before Renee starts driving, and then mutters, "Bitch," less than 2 seconds after firing the shots that killed Renee Good. This was murder, plain and simple, and it was premeditated, okay? He is looking for a legal kill in that moment because he's pissed off, he's frustrated, and the reason why he's frustrated is because these are liberal women who aren't actually respecting his authority. He's having a bad day, and it's very clear that he wants to punish someone for it. He wants to punish someone for having a bad day. And if you justify this kind of action, if you're still justifying this kind of action, you have no self-preservation skills at all, because this kind of action will inevitably come to you as well. You just think it won't, and you don't realize what kind of permission you are giving to the government, what kind of demands you're making. This is another good point of the angle as well. The fact that we see her turn the wheel to the right means he sees her turn the wheel to the right, okay? The steering wheel being turned to the right is clearly observed by Jonathan Ross. The car wheels have turned to the right at that point. He is, as you notice here, already on the right side of the hood. That's why I said hogs who are still defending this unlawful execution would watch their loved ones get killed in a similar fashion and thank the government for the lead. Disgusting bootlickers who don't even have the self-preservation instincts of an insect. I'm telling you, they all want to murder their 5th grade teacher. They want to execute women because their mom told them to go to bed. Yeah, there is definitely a big chunk of that on the internet. The problem in our country is just white women that are liberal.
This is insane. Well, I think that's even more it shows like a clear evidence of her like obviously not showing any foul play in any of this. I'm actually pretty sad that her wife had to witness her lover be killed, and now their sons don't have a mother. Her biological mother is dead, and they have no one else. The thing is though, like, and this is what kind of bothers me about this whole thing, is that you know, once again, this has been normal for many people who have faced violence against ICE agents. And the thing is, it's like, you know, people face violence from the police in the US, but people also face violence from ICE agents in the US. And the thing is like ICE agents have less authority, and yet they act like they are powerful beings, right? That they can do whatever the fuck they want. And so, like, as a child, I've been trained to, let me turn on the music, because it's getting a bit too late for me, but also, I just want to, like, give my opinion. I think I'll talk more about this as well in the next TamaTalks, especially to see how more of this unfolds now that we know that, her last words were, I'm not mad at you, to the guy who killed her. And apparently the guy who killed her ended up calling her a fucking bitch after he shot her in the face. So, and it's all because of his masculinity being, like, threatened, right? A white liberal woman was speaking against his terrible acts of, like, kidnapping and dehumanizing immigrants. And she was being pretty respectful about it too. They were antagonizing her as well. Yet her last words were, "It's fine, dude, I'm not mad at you." And he shot her in the face 3 fucking times. You know, the reason why I talk about TamaTalks is because of the ICE violence, the ICE brutality, okay? That people like me face every day, and people darker than me face even worse. But this whole ICE thing is I'm gonna just say it, it's more prominent against the Latin American community and other other communities that are immigrants in the US. It's just a fact, you know. And so no one knows about that. They just have their assumptions. They believe that, you know, hey, if you're illegal, you've committed a crime and you should leave. But the thing is like, the only ones who are being abused and prosecuted are the people who just want a better life. But the corporations that hire them, the corporations that ruin their native countries, you know, ability to self-govern and be successful, those people don't get prosecuted. They just get a slap on the wrist. You know, America profits from immigration because they don't have to pay any benefits to an illegal. You know, a bunch of people claim that illegal immigrants get everything for free, and, you know, they're taking advantage of the Americans' hard-earned tax money. But that's just false. Illegal immigrants don't have any fucking rights. They cannot get health insurance. They cannot get, like, you know, if they get a job, you know, if they don't, they basically become a slave, chat. If they don't listen to whatever their employer says, their employer will threaten them with ICE or fire them, okay? And employers usually do that who hire illegal immigrants. They usually, once they don't need the batch of illegals that they hire, they call ICE on themselves, get rid of those, and then hire then hire other immigrants, and the cycle continues. Now, the thing is like throughout my entire life, you know, there's news channels in Spanish in America as well that, you know, report things from a Latin American view. Good morning or salutations to those in other time zones. Hello, Wizard Breadbook. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. And I hope you can read the pinned. Actually, let me read chat. That's so insane. Because even as someone who lives outside of the US, I know that's wrong. Yeah, yeah. Gets everything handed to them is crazy. No, and that's why, you know, people hate me as well. Like, when it comes to Mexicans as well, like, people just think that they are dirty illegals that take everything from the average citizen. But we haven't, like, I have rights, obviously. I'm an American citizen. I do. But I know people who don't, right? I grew up in a elementary school, right? And my elementary school was pretty fucking racist. Like, they still practice segregation during those days. The whites can only study with the whites, and then the Mexicans with the Mexicans, kind of thing. And I didn't realize until I thought about it, like, now as an adult. I'm like, wait, that's segregation. Like, what the fuck? But the reason why it was like that as well is because the area that I lived in was in the countryside, where a bunch of people worked in fields. For example, when it comes to fruits or vegetables, you know, those kinds of fields, you hire illegal immigrants or just like Latinos who are willing to do that work to do your harsh labor, the labor that no average American wants to fucking do. And the thing is like in those communities, you know, in the Latin American communities in the US, it takes a lot to not have to do those types of jobs, you know, to become successful in the US. But for many people that is successful because you're able to earn an income that can help save your family either in the US or from the country you escaped from, right? And many of those people work these harsh conditions with no benefit other than receiving income, okay? There's been instances where like people in these dangerous working environments end up getting hurt on the job, but because they're illegal, nothing, you know, it's not like the employer is gonna pay for anything, or it's not like they have health insurance that would be able to pay for that. It's not like anything. In fact, the only reason the employer would want to help this person is behind closed doors, right? Is so that no one speaks out against it and ruins the company image. Stuff like that. It's just like everything is secretive behind the scenes. It's either be quiet or get eaten, right? And there's a lot of things that a lot of people like me have witnessed, have heard, have seen, have experienced, right? Maybe not me, but I at least know some people who have lost a lot. And it's not right. It's not right. And a lot of us have begged for help for many years. We begged for help but and we're tired of begging for help. And the violence back then was intense. It was intense, but there wasn't like this huge media presence as we have now. Like, not everyone had a cell phone not only a cell phone, but like an iPhone, right? To upload videos and put them on Twitter. Back then, when I was a kid, that wasn't a thing, right? But now you have people who can do that. You know, people witness murders and upload it to the fucking internet. They upload it to the fucking internet, and now everyone sees the reality of things. But we've begged so long, chat. And in the US's case, you know, we begged the liberals, the Democrats, to do something, to give us rights. And they would just give us crumbs, chat. Crumbs. And photo ops. You know, they go to the fucking border, take pictures, and they say, oh, this is terrible. But they don't implement anything to help us. So it's just, a lot of people have been killed, a lot of people have been raped, a lot of people have been disappeared, a lot of families have been ripped apart. And as a child, I never knew if in my school someone would be kidnapped, you know. Within my school, I didn't know if someone I knew would disappear. You know, you have to keep quiet, chat, and you can't speak out, because if you speak out, then you're targeted. But people have news outlets. Primer Impacto is a news outlet in the US that Latinos watch in the US and around the world, of course, but mainly in the US to get their news. And also there's just a bunch of reports there that they talk about of these families being abused. We've begged for so long. Renee Good did not need to die. This white woman who was murdered in front of her spouse did not need to fucking die. But America ignored it for too long. You know, there was a period of time where everyone condemned this sort of thing, but they never did anything about it. And then once the hate started increasing and spreading, fucking the Democrats threw us under the bus, chat. The Biden administration and Kamala ended up saying racist shit that Trump would say, and normalize this type of hate. And now it became so normalized that now ICE agents are shooting white people in the fucking face. That's where we are now, chat. And because this white woman was shot in the face, fucking hell. Fucking hell, chat. Look at how many people are protesting. A shit ton of people. Look at this. In Minnesota. Now, over 10,000 people are in the streets of Minneapolis protesting ICE after a woman was fatally shot by a federal agent. Tensions are escalating fast as calls for accountability grow. This is a shit ton of people. A shit ton of people right here. And all I can wonder and ask, you can't really see because it's dark, but it sucks. All I can think of is like, why did no one care when we were asking for help? Like, why didn't this outrage spark when we asked for help? It sucks. It really does. Actually, let me reach out. Modern day slavery takes from the form... Oh my god, sorry, my bad. Takes from the form of American corporations, taking the papers of immigrants and the forced labor that U.S. prisoners are subjected to. That's actually true. A lot of people who are prisoners end up having to become slaves as well. This is something I would always say as well, or I personally, this is my opinion, but modern day slavery in the US specifically is done with the abuse of illegal immigrants and those who are incarcerated, so mostly black and brown people. Our first forced labor that US prisoners are subjected to, we didn't outlaw slavery, just moved it to a gray and black market when not in government control. No, yeah, but a lot of people don't want to believe that. They're gonna be like, oh, how dare you how dare you compare America's greatest sin, which is slavery, to something modern as this? But it's like, because we, you know, people can't, it's to the point, chat, where immigrants can't call for help. They cannot call 911 because they're afraid that they're going to throw ice at them. They cannot go to the hospital because they don't have health insurance. They don't qualify for that shit. It's just a living fear that these people have to live through. Speaking of stuff being filmed, make sure to wear a mask at any protest. It will help in not being identified from footage. Yeah, well, actually, my first protest was for labor workers, mostly Latin Americans in the US, who were being abused by their employers. I think I was like 5 years old. Of course, my dad works in the field work, and even if nothing happened to him, he could see his own people being abused by the system, the people that he managed, at least. And as a child, my dad took me to my first protest, and that's where I heard the phrase that that surprisingly isn't in my room, but you'll see it in the starting soon screen behind my chair. There's a sign that says "El pueblo unido jamás será vencido." That was the first time I heard that phrase, and I was chanting it as a child. And as a child, I didn't really understand what I was saying, but I did understand, like, that me and people like me were being mistreated by the majority and by the government. And so as I grew up and I was raised with that sort of experience and mentality, after the George Floyd incident, I ended up participating as well in the protests during that time. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. I made sure to wear a mask during that time because, they were just arresting everyone for practicing their civil right. Oh, that's a motorcycle. I got so scared. And yeah, it was intense. It was crazy. And now in Japan, there's protesting here, believe it or not, to speak against Israel's genocide. I do my best to protect my face, but yeah, if you guys ever plan to protest and stuff, wear a mask always, and actually prepare for like retaliation from law enforcement if your government is that tyrannical, where they will practice like harming like protesters and stuff. In Japan, that doesn't really happen unless like it's escalated, but it doesn't really happen. We collaborate a lot with the Japanese police force, actually, and they just tell us not to cause trouble, and if there is trouble, to contact them. And they will tell us if they don't like what we're doing. But yeah, always wear a mask. They will use it to identify you and try to press crimes against you simply for speaking out on what's right. Obama had a chance to end ICE created under Bush and didn't. Yeah, that's why I remember a lot, like as a child, I grew up with my dad just like hating the Democrats and the liberals. Like cursing them because they never did anything. They say the right things, but they don't do nothing to help the people who are suffering. And in Obama, I mean, I don't know about now, maybe the numbers have changed, but at some point, like during Trump's first presidency, Obama still beat him in deportations, in the brutal deportations that ICE practices. Okay? And even if ICE didn't exist before Bush, something else did. I don't know the other names though before ICE, but they were as equally as brutal. So like this practice has always been a thing, you know, it's always happened. It's just like it happened behind closed doors, and now a white woman has been murdered over it. So people are finally taking a stance in a more bigger way, I suppose. Not saying that she doesn't deserve it, obviously, but it just kind of sucks having this be your entire life, like this sort of fear of me happening, like me being shot in the face 3 times, my dad being shot in the face 3 times, my mom being shot in the face 3 times, my brother, anyone, my friends, my family, someone who looks like me being shot in the face 3 times is a fear, a genuine fear, a stressor that I have lived with my entire life. I grew up fearing the police because I just knew that they could just kill me right then and there if they wanted to. As a child, I also had the talk about police. Like, hey, Tama, be careful in front of law enforcement because they might just fucking kill you. I was taught that as a child. I was taught to keep my mouth shut out of safety. So it sucks. It sucks that when we don't keep our mouth shut and we ask for help, nothing happens either, and we get murdered. We, you know, no one cares, and the moment a white chick gets, you know, shot in the face, that's when people take a stance. And so it's kind of conflicting. I'm confused because obviously she didn't deserve that, and I'm so sad that that happened to her. But what about us, you know? And everyone on Twitter are being like, the liberals are being very ignorant with how they word things, because they go, oh my god, they're killing anyone now, they're killing US citizens now. Like, oh, okay, so it was okay for them to kill us. Okay. It's like, oh my god, can you believe it? They killed a white person? They killed a US citizen. And I'm like, why does that even matter? Well, it does matter because that's only supposed to happen to black and brown folk, or people who aren't considered American enough. But here's the thing, yeah. Renee has proven to the world that now even white people cannot be considered white enough, American enough to survive like police and ICE brutality. That's just a fact now. You know, even white people cannot be American enough. And that's the shock. I think that's the shock of what just happened just now. And it's a tragedy because this didn't have to happen. She did not deserve to die. And I just feel if Black and brown people or anyone who isn't considered American was given justice from the moment I was fucking born, or even before that, because again, this is a fear, this is something that I'm used to, then Renee would have been alive by now. You know, she would have been okay. I'm starting to feel the effects of not getting any sleep for 24 hours. You should probably see. America didn't just become fascist, it always was. The average white person is just now noticing because the oppression is starting to hit them. Yeah, they can't escape it no more. Not to sound dumb, but what did you say in Spanish, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. No, that's not dumb. You just don't speak Spanish and you're not dumb for that. But it's a famous chant that is said during protests usually. But the translation of it means the united people will never be defeated, or the united village will never be defeated, basically. So it's based off a song to unite people who are fighting against a corrupt government, and it's used in chants, in protesting chants. Sometimes people say it in English, but it's better to say it in the original form. Personally, I blame Dems' modern stretch of being useless on Bill Clinton. Him winning an election on compromising with the GOP has grown a deep-rooted cowardice and a position to believing in improving material conditions. The thing is like, I mean, I guess that's when I popped out, right? Around that time. Wait, was I? That's right, Bill Clinton is a Dem. Yeah, I mean, no matter who started it though, it doesn't even matter who started it. It's just like after the person who started it, it's just like, it's not like the Dems are useless, right? They're using their lack of action to their benefit. Like, they actually benefit from not doing anything and helping the people. So fucking hell, like, when you hear Joe Biden and Kamala Harris saying that illegals are fucking what's ruining the country and we need to strengthen our American borders, is because they're just, at that point, they're just looking for anything to succeed. Like, they're even willing to turn against their own beliefs, which proves that they never believed in what they preached anyways, you know, which confirms why they always have a lack of action. I think that at this point, we can't baby our governments anymore, and we have to change it. We have to force them to do something, or fucking change the whole thing, start from scratch, because it doesn't make sense why we have to pick between, my stomach is growling, I apologize. It doesn't make sense why we have to pick between two fucking terrible sides when we, the people, deserve more options that benefit us. Okay, the government's supposed to benefit us, not the other way around. And doing nothing, people are tired, man. People are tired. I'm tired. You know, last year was the worst for me. And I'm barely getting better, but like I shared this already last year when it happened, but like my grandfather was deported by ICE. And it's because he was legally in the US, but he was in the US with a visitor's visa, and he was working on that visa, and that's illegal. You can't work on a visitor's visa. But he did it to, you know, to succeed, man. He just needed more money, man. That's all. And I spent my entire adult life trying to fix that, trying to reverse that somehow, and it's impossible. And then he ended up dying last year. And I never got to see the guy ever again. And neither did my dad until, you know, he was dead. And again, this is why I talk about this in TamaTalks, because for me this is personal. And it sucks. You know, I got really fucked over that chat. I felt like a failure for not being able to have my dad see his dad, you know, again. When people leave a country, man, it's not easy, you know. Sometimes people leave it because it's just they can't have a life there, and if you have the chance to have a new life and improve it in any way or form, even without rights, you know, people are gonna take that chance. And it just sucks that we get people like me, people who look like me, or anyone else, you know, get demonized for it. And it's complicated because white people can become US citizens, residents, easy peasy lemon squeezy, but any other immigrant that isn't white enough or from an undesirable country, they can't just do that easily. Even if you do, it takes years, man. It takes a long ass time. Shit. And now, like, this sort of like ICE brutality is skyrocketing again. As I feel like it's going back to how it was as a child. I remember as a child just constantly living in fear, and I'm pretty sure it's because, you know, of what I was told and also of what I witnessed and what was going on during that time. And then things calmed down with the performativeness of everything. And then when Trump became president and basically started normalizing, like, being outwardly racist, you know, everyone was racist, but it was like not like good to be outwardly racist, but Trump like just broke the barriers of that. Yeah, like now we're seeing America going back to its old ways, basically. The Spanish translation of what you said sounds better than the English version. Yeah. That's why what the character said in Fury sticks with me. I just noticed your eye changes color. Yeah. When I get emotional, my pupils go like, and then my eye changes color. Say, like, when I'm talking normally and I'm calm, it's fine. But when I... yeah. I guess I spoke too much. Again, this is personal. And what I faced is like, I'm legal, bruh. Like, I'm a US fucking citizen. And even me, you know, I faced this shit. But it didn't matter if I was a US citizen. And now it doesn't matter if you're a US citizen and you're fucking white. And I hope that people continue to have the same energy and amplify it and demand justice for Renee Good, but also demand fucking change, because the people are tired. We can't just wait till someone gets fucking murdered terribly publicly. We have to actually try to change the government. And I was gonna show you guys more stuff, more evidence of ICE brutality, but not against white people, but against people like me and also black and brown people. But it's almost 1:30 a.m. and I have work tomorrow and I have to go to sleep. So that was TamaTalks, where I speak on social issues that matter to me. To those who listened, thank you. To those who mocked, and
Because tonight will be the night that I will for you over again.
Not Nola just cheered 100 bits.
Thank you for the 100 bits, not Nola. You didn't have to, but I appreciate it. Gracias, gracias. Thank you very much. Thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you for the support. Wow. I lost my memory. What was I saying? Yes. Yeah. What was I saying? Was I saying my bye-byes? Bye-byes, chat. Thank you for listening. Yes, there you go. Thank you for listening to TamaTalks, where I talk about social issues that matter to me. We ended up having a small Palestine update about the conditions of Palestine right now, and also the prisoners in Britain being held in prison without, without due process, and them almost basically dying from the hunger strike that they're doing for their rights and the Palestinian rights as well. And also witnessing the shooting of Renee Good, her murder, and basically hearing her last words as well, which was, "Don't worry, dude, I'm not mad at you." So, and also talking about my experiences and how personal this is with me. I hope that if you watch this, you learn something new and are inspired to do something. Boycott, speak out, talk to someone about it, demand your government to stop doing what it's doing, or demand justice. There you go. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Silent Hill F. And yeah, I'll see you later, alligators. Thank you for listening. Bye. Bye-bye.
から今 してるから今